Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. It's a Friday.
Yay, it's Friday.
Everybody act fake happy and excited. Woo!
I am happy it's Friday.
I'm happy and excited.
It's Friday. It's Friday. Ooh,
go.
Ooh.
I have work to do, but at least I don't got to get up at 4 a.m. tomorrow.
There you go. Well, let's get to the rumors. We found Kanye.
It's about time. What's going on?
Rumor report. This is the Rumor Report.
Talk to him.
With Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
Well, Kanye is out and about. He was actually in L.A. yesterday. He was at an art installation at the Pacific Design Center. He has blonde hair now, so he looks a little bit different than he did before he was hospitalized.
Looks a little crazy.
He does.
Blonde hair, yeah.
He does.
I don't know what made him do that.
He's mentally ill.
A lot of times when people want to make a change, they change their hair.
That is true. Girls will cut their hair bald. Absolutely. That is a fact.
All right, so he's also been working on some music at his home studio. Now, Farnsworth Bentley actually gave some explanation of what happened to Kanye. He said he never mourned his mother. That's at the root of this. You don't have to be a clinical psychologist to figure that out. That's the core of this. I think a lot of these things are coming up and coming out now. He said you have to look at it from his perspective. You put out the most amazing album. You're breaking records on merch. So what happens is you take that and then your fashion show just demolishes and fails. We all know more than anything that he wants to be successful in fashion. So when editors and everything are beating him up, that happens. You're on stage. Your wife gets robbed. He said that happened. It's not okay. That's not something to question. That really happened.
When people say things like, he never mourned his mother, you never stop mourning, though. Like, mourning's not a one-time thing. Like, that's not something you just do and you say, okay, it's out my system now.
Well, I think maybe he never really sat down and dealt with the emotions of it. Sometimes people just mask it and they just continue doing what they're doing. I'm going to go back to work. I don't even want to think about it, and they don't properly take the time.
You kind of got to in a way, though, right? Like, the world keeps moving, right?
We really don't know, because we both have, all three of us have our parents around, so we don't know what that feeling is to lose a parent and being close to our parents.
Some people just hide their feelings about, not even just mourning your parents, but things in general, and then it comes back later on.
I'm sure that it's a forever feeling, though. Like, it's your parents. Like, you're never going to stop mourning. Like, that's something you have to deal with for the rest of your life.
All right, now let's talk about Will Smith. He talked about filming Collateral Beauty. He was on Ellen DeGeneres, and he talks about that movie because it's a movie about a father who is devastated by his young daughter's death. But actually behind the scenes, Will Smith was going through his own issues. Here's what he said.
What was really interesting is I got the screenplay right when my father was diagnosed. Now I'm doing all of this research about a guy who experiences death, at the time that, my father was given 6 weeks. But it turned out to be such an amazing thing to have to work through and go through all of this. The performance for me and the movie for me and the ideas are so deeply personal. This film for me is the most personal and beautiful journey when art and life comes together in that way, and when you create something that potentially can help people get through difficult times.
That's dope. You already said some things you just got to work through because life's going to keep going regardless.
Well, he said it was when art and life came together also. So he had to do a movie dealing with the loss, a father dealing with the loss of his daughter. At the same time, he's trying to cope with the loss of his father.
So it's therapeutic in a way.
So it was very therapeutic. So
and
that
the
was
emotions are probably really real when you see him acting them out on screen.
So I just thought that was an interesting conversation. Now, congratulations to Kobe. He just had a third daughter, Kobe and Vanessa Bryant.
You trying to get that boy?
3 girls.
Damn, Kobe was a hoe. Drop on the clues bombs for Kobe being a hoe. That's why I'm so scared to have a third child, because I know it's going to be another girl. When you was a hoe in a past life, you are going to get nothing but women. Jesus Christ, Kobe.
Well, Envy was not so bad because he has 2 boys.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. Something to that.
There was some balance.
Poor Kobe, man. If he had never put his penis in that Clark.
All right.
And Solange talks about a seat at the table. I love that album. I listen to it all the time when I'm at home. And she talked about a conversation. She says, hearing 2 white men have a racist chat about R&B in her career is what pushed her to write this album. She was at the Huffington Post, and she said that she heard 2 white journalists discuss her music, her audience, and how much more considerate and grateful that she should be to white people for filling up venues for her. She said in 2013 she got some flack on Twitter. She said white journalists who write about R&B music should know who Brandy is, right?
That's a fact. I think so.
All right. The New York Times invited her to talk about cultural tourism in music on one of their podcasts, and she said, no, I don't feel the need to have a debate about something I was culturally a part of, and I didn't feel the need to defend that. So she said the host of the Times podcast, John Caramanica, who's white, talked about what she said on Twitter and also said that I went to Solange's concert and I noted who her audience was, and if I were her, I'd be careful of making these statements because I'd be careful not to bite the hand that feeds me.
So basically he's saying that since Solange has white fans, she shouldn't make black music and discuss black issues in her music, basically what he's saying.
Or he was saying basically don't say anything bad about, white journalists need to know who Brandy is and she doesn't have to have a debate. Just don't just calm it down because you want to appeal to these white people that are in your audience.
Right.
And she felt like, don't try to tell me, what I should do about my music or my art.
Well, yeah, that's the lesson to learn in that story is do what the hell you feel like doing when you feel like doing it. Express
and then you
yourself.
make a great album like A Seat at the Table.
Yeah, express yourself. As long as your intentions are good, don't be afraid to say it. Don't be afraid to do it. You don't have to do anything to appease anybody but yourself.
All right. Well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report.
All right. Thank you, Miss Yee. We got front page news up next, Yee. What we talking about?
Why your voice turned so dainty just now?
Well, I don't know. What do you mean?
You sounded so dainty.
You like it?
So delicate.
Do you like it?
Man, shut up.
All right. Yee, we got front page news. What we talking about?
We're going to talk about Donald Trump and him having not just the job of president, but some other side gigs. Because you always got to have them side jobs.
Wait till his side hoes come out and he be like, I'm not letting go of them either. That's going to be amazing.
My goodness. All right, we'll get into all that and Ab So will be joining us. So don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.